Jesse Owens, the man who inspired a nation and became a cultural icon.
As the day is going on, though, it becomes clear that an African American is going to win the high jump. A few minutes before the competition ends, Hitler leaves the stadium. It starts raining, he's gone. Cornelius Johnson, African American, wins the gold medal. David Albritton, Jesse Owens, his best friend, wins the silver medal. They're both black. Hitler's not there to congratulate them. There's a big uproar. How come? Why didn't he congratulate them? The Germans, for their part, and remember at this time they're trying to please as many people as possible, not antagonize people, say Hitler was simply adhering to his schedule. He meant no offense.
Now, when Owens ultimately won his first medal, there is this legend that he was snubbed by Hitler. Your book really sort of dispels that myth.
Well, there are two things. Now, you know, he wins his first gold medal the day after Cornelius Johnson wins the gold medal in the high jump. And this story is already out there, the snubbing of the African-American athlete rather than the snubbing of Jesse Owens. By the time, what happens overnight, in the midst of this uproar, the head of the International Olympic Committee tells Hitler, this is unacceptable. We don't want a political controversy here. You either congratulate everyone or you congratulate no one. Hitler says, fine, I won't congratulate anyone. And again, this is 1936. Hitler does not want to antagonize the head of the Olympic Committee on the first day of the Games. But technically, I don't think you could say he snubbed him because he was told not to congratulate him publicly.
Well, by eyewitness accounts at the time, including Owens himself, he related that he didn't feel snubbed by Hitler.
That's another element of the story. The story all over the United States in particular is how could the Chancellor of Germany show such disrespect for our black athletes. Banner headlines everywhere. Hitler snubs Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens keeps telling anyone who'll listen, I wasn't snubbed. He couldn't congratulate me. In fact, I think he waved at me, and I waved back at him. He said this several times. Some of the black papers in the U.S. reported that Hitler treated Owens quite well, based on Owens' own comments. And in fact, one of the African-American reporters who was covering the games in Berlin said there was a headline in the Pittsburgh Courier, the African-American paper in Pittsburgh, you know, Hitler lauds Jesse Owens, et cetera, et cetera. So there was a difference of opinion at the time. And Owens maintained for a long time that he was not snubbed, and in fact said when he got home to the U.S. after the Olympics, when he was campaigning for the Republican presidential candidate that fall, Alf Landon, that it wasn't Hitler who snubbed him, but Franklin Roosevelt.
The white athletes were invited to the White House by FDR, and Jesse was not invited, as well as any of the other black athletes.
There wasn't much in the way of the government congratulating him. In fact, he did not get an invite to the White House or receive a telegram or anything like that.
His fame having preceded him, and in stark contrast to the way he had been treated in the States, Owens found himself greeted warmly by the German people.
When Owens won, the crowd, which was mostly German, really was enthusiastic in its support for him.
Every time he stepped on the track, the crowd went wild for Jesse Owens. And that was a surprise to him. He had been led to believe that he would be received in hostile fashion. And in fact, it was exactly the opposite.
very glad to have won my 3 events of the games here at Berlin. It's been the first time since 1924, about 12 years ago, and I'm very proud to have won. Wonderful competition here, a wonderful stadium, and a wonderful crowd, and the days have been very nice. And the people here in Germany have been very nice to me, and I'm very glad to display my talent here.